Hello, everyone. Welcome to Pitch Pass Podcast. It's me, Brando, and my co-host Bretley.
What's up, guys? How's it going?
And man, week 6 was a kick in the teeth,
Yeah,
a kick in the wallet,
yeah.
and a kick in the ball sack.
All three. Yeah, it was
All
like
three. For
getting kicked by three different people with like both feet in each area. It was pretty bad.
came within one part of two bets.
Same.
And the
Yeah.
Chiefs not covering, not deciding just not to cover, and receivers the last minute and a half was
Yeah,
great.
man, that's tough. Uh, we'll get to them in a little bit. I
Choke.
you know, I have some negative things to say about the this week. I am going to be as objective and truthful as I can. Okay.
Oof.
I've been harsh on the quarterbacks. I am aware of this. I've been a little too harsh on some of these teams, and I will address it this week.
I will also give some teams some props. Let's go. Let's go to.
No props to either team from the Thursday night game. That shit was
Um,
ass.
yeah. Well. Yeah, I'll agree. No, no one played well. Like.
Carson Wentz had 99 yards, and Justin Fields had 190, but he
Yeah. Justin
also had an
Field.
interception.
Yeah, he had an interception. Also, man, the Bears should have won this game.
Yeah,
The final play of this game, where Justin Fields throws an accurate ball, throws a touchdown. Darnell Mooney bobbles it in midair with contact
yeah,
and recatches it at the 1 yard line of fourth down. Game over.
yeah. So
It's it was a
Fields
sad game.
also he had a bunch of opportunities to make good throws, and he either overthrew it or underthrew it.
I will say, rushing the ball though,
Mm.
fucking menace to society. Justin
Yes,
Fields
he led the team. Yes,
led the team rushing with 88 yards. Cleo Herbert needs to get more touches and carries.
real.
That 64-yard run that he had was
Hmm.
fucking explosive. He broke like two or three tackles on that run.
Hmm.
I think a big problem with Chicago is they need to figure out who their explosive athletes are to get on the field.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
think a name that doesn't get talked that hasn't been talked about enough, but I think will get traded at the trade deadline. I think David Montgomery gets traded away.
Okay, I could see
I
it.
could see I could see him end up somewhere like like the LA
Hmm.
Rams or even the Denver Broncos. I can see him in a lot of different
He would
locations.
really help the Broncos.
Yeah.
The Broncos
Or
have
even
no run game, and the only way that Russ has been able to be successful in his career outside of having Legion of Boom defense is with a heavy, reliable
mm,
run game.
exactly. So see that I could also see I can see a team like Indianapolis to get
Hmm.
insurance,
Yeah,
but
Indy needs some help right now. Jonathan Taylor hasn't been super productive. I think he's only had one good game
hey,
this year. I think it was the first game of the year, and all of
ooh,
their backups have been getting injured.
you want to hop to that game next?
We definitely can. I just wanted to say one more
See,
thing. Huge shout out to Brian Robinson for that touchdown. That was awesome.
mhm.
It's not like the
We'll
run
see.
itself was like spectacular, but like just getting yourself back out there so quickly and going for that. That's awesome. Congratulations.
Hot take: Antonio Gibson was the better of the two backs on Thursday night.
Um,
Better yards per carry, that's for sure.
yeah, that's I mean
I think he
definitely.
also had the longest rush between the two.
I think for the night I'll definitely give you that, but overall no.
I'll still say it.
Okay.
Because Antonio Gibson can also catch the ball and run routes.
Yeah. Well, we just haven't been able to see what Brian Robinson can do yet.
I'll go back to what he did at Alabama.
All right, fair enough. What did you want to go
Fair.
to next?
Let's go to Colts Jags.
Colts Jaguars. Uh,
Okay,
yeah,
Matt Ryan fucking threw the ball 37 times before halftime.
yeah. He's
The
becoming a
Colts,
volume hog.
the Colts literally said, "We know we're not going to win if we are pounding the ball in this game.
Yeah.
We are just going to try to get the ball out fast, all quick passing game."
Hmm.
Matt Ryan was not sacked in this game.
No, which is a huge change from what, 5 a
Complete
week ago?
180. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, yeah, and also a complete 180, like compared to when they played the first time. I think
Hmm.
Jacksonville had like 7 sacks on them the first time they
It
played.
was a lot.
Yeah, and complete 180. The
Also, he didn't
Jaguars,
throw an interception, which is interesting because the Jags defense is pretty damn good.
yeah, they've been playing fairly well
Yeah.
so far this year. And man, Travis Etienne had maybe his breakout game
Hmm.
as a pro. 10 rushes, 86 yards. That's his best game so far.
And he had a couple receptions for 22, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, so he had like 100 all-purpose yards. I love the way the Colts were using Michael Pierce.
Hmm.
Not
Alec Pierce.
Al Pierce,
I
sorry.
got you. No worries.
Yeah, the way they were using Al Pierce, block crossing routes,
Hmm.
and but man, that touchdown he had when he went over the top for 32, that was
Hmm.
a dagger. That was dope to see.
It
And
feels like. Oh, sorry. What were you saying?
Indy, I think the Indianapolis Colts have kind of an underrated young wide receiver trio right now with
Yes.
Michael Pittman Jr., Paris
Paris
Campbell, and
Campbell
Al.
and Alec Pierce. Absolutely. I completely agree. And I think it's kind of taken some adjustment from Matt Ryan. Uh, Obviously he's getting older. He is a little more mistake prone. Um, and it's really taken him time in some of these games to like diagnose the defense and kind of figure things out. But the Colts have been able to win a couple. I mean, it's not obviously they don't have a great record, but it's not a losing
Their,
record. He
their
threw,
defense
yeah,
played a lot better. You know why? Because the offense was able to sustain drives, stay on
yes.
the field. Their defense wasn't playing tired the whole game.
And that's crazy because they had like no running. They had like no rushing the entire game. I
Yeah.
think they had less than 50 total rushing yards. They had 45 total rushing yards.
I mean, they have their third string running back in at that point.
Oh, yeah, but I
I
mean
mean,
it's
they
still
knew what
insane.
the game plan was going in. They were going
Yeah.
to just try to figure it out.
Uh
DeForest Buckner had a great game.
yes, definitely.
And yeah, just Colts defense stepped up when they had to.
Hmm. Yeah, the
And
Colts were
just
just the
great
better team.
performance by the offensive line and Matt Ryan at the end.
Anybody who owns literally any Jaguars player has to be frustrated in fantasy football. Uh,
Mhm.
ETN got okay points, like PPR and regular. He had okay, but like when Jamichael Hasty's getting touchdowns, Trevor
Michael
Lawrence
Hayes.
is rushing for his own. Like I don't know. You're just seeing a lot of the weird like Jamal Agnew finally didn't get a touchdown, but it's just been a lot of the weird like
You
unpredictable
gotta
ones.
love converted corner scoring touchdown. Um,
This is just a good game for Matt Ryan.
yeah,
I think the Jags will kind of straighten it out. They could really use some more weapons. They really need a more reliable tight end because Ingram does not look good, and they need a wide receiver too, and I think they'll
yeah.
be a lot better.
This offense is the first year. I think the offense is gonna get better as they add more talent to this roster.
Yes, same.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if the Jags do swing for someone at the trade deadline. Um, okay. Fun question. If you were the Jags and you
Mhm.
had the trade for an offensive skill position player at the deadline, who are you trading for?
If I had to trade for him,
Yeah, you're trading for an offensive skill position player.
that's a tough question. Honestly, I think they could use. Well, obviously they need a receiver. I think you could probably get Claypool
Yeah,
from
Chase
the
Claypool
Steelers.
has been a
Yeah.
very hot name. Has been a
Um,
very hot name around right
Deshaun
now.
Jackson was just
Just
taken by
signed
the
with the
Ravens.
Raiders.
Yeah. I mean, you could always try Antonio Brown because honestly, if your team's on a
No,
path to destruction, why not just say
no,
fuck it? But yeah, that's
no.
just a locker room
That's
tumor.
such a terror. No, I will shut all Antonio Brown signing noise down immediately. No one needs that.
Yeah.
You are not making any roster better with that.
I don't think there are a lot of teams that
I
have
think
the
there's
depth that would be
zero teams
willing.
that are interested.
Oh, no, I agree with that. But I
Mhm.
was saying I don't think there are many teams that have the depth that they would be willing to I mean, you could probably get like Curtis Samuel, maybe, but uh,
Maybe maybe like a bad team who has like an aging wide receiver. Like
yeah,
you, I mean, the Panthers already traded Robbie Anderson, so I
yeah,
don't think
that
DJ
was the
Moore.
other name.
I
Yeah, I
don't
don't
think
think
DJ
Arizona
Moore is
too.
going.
No, he's too young.
Um, hear
That's
me out.
really it for me.
Hear me out on this. They're bad, and they need draft picks. New Orleans trades away Michael Thomas.
Oh, can't guard Mike.
Goes to Jacksonville.
It's so the thing with the Saints though is the Eagles have the Saints pick first round pick for next year,
Yeah, I
right?
know.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
oh man, if
but
they traded
they
like
would be okay. They would be okay with it because they need to reclaim draft
yeah,
capital,
yeah. So
and they need to trade away, and then they also take the cap room off. Jags have plenty of room.
they need to consider yeah,
It's a fun one. It's
that's
fun.
definitely an idea. Man, I don't know. That's kind of tough. The Saints really need to solidify that offensive line.
Jags offer a second round pick for Michael Thomas,
I don't think man.
and they eat a salary.
Yeah, if they
Yeah,
eat the contract too, they might take that.
yeah. I think they 100% would.
That's crazy.
I think they would just. I think they would run. I think they would answer yes in a heartbeat to that.
I
They're
I
in a
hope
rough
not.
spot right now.
I hope not. But
The Saints just lost at home.
yeah, you want to talk about that one next?
Um, let's go to a different heartbreak. Let's go to my Packers Jets real quick.
Okay.
Let's just get this out of the way.
I I've been saying this for weeks. The Jets have been my upset pick for several weeks. I believe I didn't actually pick them to win this game. I believe I picked them to cover the
Wow.
spread, but um I don't remember. I'd have to go back and look. But the I know I picked them to cover the spread. Um the Jets defensively, though, what Sauce has been doing on defense, that pass breakup that he had where he read the play, he got that one inside step and he just ripped the ball open on that completed pass. That was beautiful. The Jets really have talent around everywhere on the field. They're playing in a tough division for sure. Um, they were really able to effectively contain the Packers until they could figure out both their offense and their defense. We were just talking about this earlier. I was saying I think the Jets probably have one of the best coached defense and special teams in the league. Obviously, there's an aspect of raw talent. The schemes that they're running defensively, the way that they're utilizing that corner tandem that they have, it's great. But the defense as a whole is generating pressure on every position, and
Well,
it's
especially from the interior.
yes,
Quinn Williams took over this game.
yes, absolutely.
He absolutely took over. Had 2 sacks. Had a forced fumble on Aaron Rodgers. Like just absolutely took over. Him, Sheldon Rankins both had a great game. They were able to collapse the pocket that way.
Yeah,
And like what's happened in multiple weeks, we've abandoned the running game.
yeah,
And I do not understand why Aaron Jones doesn't get more touches in a more creative way.
yeah,
Outside of Aaron Rodgers just doesn't want to run a modern offense.
yeah.
The quote from this week is when he said about simplification was
Mhm.
about using motion in his offense
Yeah,
and how he doesn't like using motion. He feels like it's harder to set up protections. Well, looks like your protections are breaking down anyway.
yeah,
So might as well do something to gain some kind of leverage. By the way, the receivers are not the problem right now either. Guys are getting open.
yeah. I was gonna say
They're-
Christian Watson just has not been getting.
Christian Watson hasn't been good, but Lazard and
Lazard has been
Dobbs.
great. Yeah,
Lazard has been good, and Dobbs has been solid too.
yeah,
Both of them are getting open.
yeah.
And something I'm also very disappointed in
Mhm.
why Aaron Jones isn't used more in the passing game.
Same. Well,
He,
both of the running backs should be getting
yeah,
used.
like
AJ Dillon actually has better pass catching stats than Aaron Jones. I think Aaron Jones is a little bit better, but I love AJ Dillon as well.
I think Aaron Jones is a more explosive athlete between the two.
Yes, yes, absolutely. I think Aaron Jones is
And
the
I think
better all down
he's
back, but
And he's a better home run hitter. And also, I'm also going to say this. I will dog him till the end of days. Zach Wilson is not the reason the fucking Jets won this game.
No, absolutely not. No, Brees Hall put up some really good
Candidate
numbers.
Brees Hall had a great game. I really like the Jets' run game and the way it's
Yes.
built.
Man,
This is
Braxton
also one.
Berrios has been he's been like a one-hit wonder. He's been
I
getting
know.
touchdowns. I think it's 3 games in a
This
row he's
is
gotten touchdowns.
this is probably his like gonna be his lone good season.
Yeah.
Being that's wide receiver four.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not gonna reproduce this kind of production next year.
I was
Um,
happy to see Michael Carter not stealing red zone touches
he,
this game.
he still didn't have an awful game.
No,
Michael
he
Carter
did
had
fine.
like 90 something yards
Uh, I don't.
rushing and receiving. Oh no, not
n-
Michael Carter. Sorry, I saw Corey
No,
Davis's
you're
receiving.
totally fine. I was like, I don't think it was that many. He had an okay game.
He had four. He had like four. He had averaged like 7 yards a
It
carry.
was around 50 yards somewhere around there. But
Yeah,
um,
but not a great game by the Packers offense.
no.
The defense started to break down
Hmm.
and just wasn't tackling well
Yes.
after being on the field for so long. And honestly, it comes down to lack of communication on defense in the back end,
Hmm.
poor tackling, and Aaron Rodgers needs to accept the offense Matt LaFleur wants to run and to
Yes.
run it.
Yes. Absolutely.
And
Um,
Aaron Rodgers needs to make the correct reads and not hold on to the ball forever because
yes.
he's the problem right now with this team.
Yes. I agree.
He's the reason we're losing these games.
Yeah, and we were just talking about this beforehand too, and I was talking about the underutilization of the run game, and you were saying Aaron Rodgers is the problem, and I was like, well, I think him like calling his own plays and them underutilizing the run game because he's calling his own play, and then it like
So
clicked
he
with
is
me
the
what you're
problem.
saying, so he is the I was like, yeah, that's completely fair. Um,
It's very fair, and I think Aaron just needs to swallow his pride.
that's never gonna happen, not in a million years.
Well, he's having another ego death, man.
Yeah, go smoke some
Everyone
ayahuasca, take a couple weeks off.
take another tab of acid, I guess. Someone said Aaron Rodgers, the Packers are playing like their quarterback was tripping acid all off season. And I was like, yeah, probably accurate. Um,
Yeah.
game that brought just a smile to my heart because they covered the spread again. The Atlanta Falcons 6-0
Yes,
against the
yes, yes,
spread.
yes. This is my good of the week. Kyle Pitts touchdown.
Alpitz had a touchdown on U.S. soil
Yes,
in the
first
NFL.
the first U.S. touchdown.
Didn't do much outside of that. Only had 3 targets, but Marcus Mariota also just didn't pass the ball very much during this
Marcus
game.
Mariota didn't have any interceptions.
Hey,
Let's
good for him. He
go.
also threw the ball 14
He
times.
had 2 passing touchdowns and a rushing touchdown. Uh, definitely
He had,
not what you expect
he,
against the 49ers defense, though.
no, they just ran the ball the whole time, just
Yeah.
full ball control. Um, the best things I can say about the 49ers, I Jimmy G's definitely was holding them back, but Brandon
Yes.
Ayuk had a good game.
Yeah, Brandon Ayuk had a really great week.
2 touchdowns, 83 yards. George Kittle also had 8 catches, 83
Mhm.
yards. Debo, 7 catches, 79 yards. So none of them had a terrible game.
No, it just
And the
didn't
skill
turn it
position
into
players,
anything
yeah.
other than
And
Ayuk.
well, the running game disappeared.
Yeah.
Debo Samuel only had 11 yards rushing. Jeff
Jeff
Wilson only
Wilson,
had 25
25.
yards
Yeah.
rushing. Evan Coleman only 3 yards.
Off of
And
his couch, Tevin Coleman.
Jimmy Garoppolo had 11 yards rushing. Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, just not great. Like the Falcons, honestly, they the best team in the NFC South right now.
Yeah,
They
I
still
know
losing the Bucks.
it was kind of a meme,
A shot of beating them.
but the Bucks aren't looking great. I think the Bucks have the better roster, and I think that they could be the much better team. But with the way the Falcons are playing right now, I think they are the better team.
I
They've
mean,
made every game a close game. They are this year's Lions if they're not good, and we don't
Falcons
know
are
that
the
yet.
same as Lions.
Yeah.
The Falcons are either going to somehow make the playoffs this year
Mhm.
or just have a massive collapse.
Yes. And I'm
And
I'm leaning
I'm
more towards the
so
first.
This season is so Falcons, it's great. They are so Falcons. Atlanta Falcons, y'all. I will never bet this team money line. I
No.
will bet the fuck out of them the spread, but
Spread,
I will never
absolutely.
bet them to actually hold on to win games.
I did versus Cleveland,
I
but
did too,
other than
and
that,
that was
no.
right to do
Yeah.
because Cleveland got smacked, and they
Yeah.
did again this week. 38-15
Yeah.
against New England, and Bailey
So
Zappi shit
yes. So if you have listened to our previous podcast, I have
out.
said countless times, Zappy will be starting over Mac Jones. I think he's a better quarterback. I liked what I saw better out of him. I think he is a better quarterback. It may be marginally. It may be a 1A and a 1B and a shit show. Okay? But I like what I see out of Zappy better than what I like when I see Mac Jones. Um,
For the record, Mac Jones was hurt
yes.
last week.
Uh,
And did you hear the Patriots are actually pushing Mac Jones to have surgery?
no.
They want him to have surgery so
Interesting.
they can just finish off the year with Bailey Zappi
I mean,
and
that's
have him
valid.
compete in the offseason probably.
Yeah, that's I you know what? Honestly, I'm here for it. Like I'm really okay with that. I think Zappy provides him a little better upside. Um, I love
Listen,
Ramondre. I had Ramondre as my running back
Mondre's
2 on the week for PPR, and he finished with some really good numbers. He had 2 touchdowns, 76 yards rushing, four. No, he only had. Yeah, he did
had
have four
four
receptions
catches.
for 15 yards. Uh,
Yes, he had four catches. He just did nothing with those catches.
he was a PPR monster though. Um, so yeah, I think the Patriots offense is picking up. The Browns are 2-4 right now. Um, I'm not gonna
Browns.
sit here and blast the Browns because I didn't really expect them to be great, but this was probably the worst game that Jacoby's maybe ever had. This was just a really bad game. I think he threw
Oh,
his first
Jacoby Brissett is
interception
in
16 seconds in, right? Something along those
game.
lines.
We're 6 going on 7 weeks in the season.
Yeah.
Teams now have enough tape on how the Browns play with Jacoby Brissett. I mean, it was bound to happen against New England and one of the best
Yeah.
defensive coaches to ever do it.
So listen to this. The Browns
Especially
had
since Jacoby used
18,
to be Bill Belichick's quarterback.
18 total carries for 68, 70 total yards rushing. If you stop the Browns' rush, I mean, they might get a relatively small offensive production through the passing game. Amari Cooper got a touchdown, which I'm sure Amari Cooper fantasy owners were happy about, but I would not be happy with the
You
Browns' performance.
if you force the Browns to have to pass the ball, they're fucked
Yep.
until Deshaun Watson comes back.
Groper Cleveland will be back in the building in a few weeks, unfortunately.
Also,
Um,
what's this whack ass stat line by Amari Cooper? 12 targets, 4 receptions, 44 yards.
12
He got a
targets.
touchdown, but still, 12
Damn,
targets and he got 4 of them. That's trash.
that is pretty trash.
It's trash for just both him and Jacoby Brissett.
I would lean more towards blaming Jacoby for this one just because of
I'll
how
blame
poor it
both.
was.
Mari's overhyped.
Kyle Duggar and Jalen Mills both had interceptions this game, so shout out.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle Duggar's been playing really well this year. I really like him.
Duggar has been playing fantastic. He's one of the
Mhm.
best box safeties in the NFL right now.
Yes, completely agree. Um,
Let's see.
the Patriots did what they did best, and they stuffed the run, forced the team to pass against them, and it's a mistake-prone quarterback when he's forced to pass. So they just took advantage of that.
Use old quarterback speak. He tied their right arm behind their back and made them use their left. So that's what they did. He made them have to go for Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah. What shit show do you want to go to next?
Let's see.
Ravens
Well,
Giants?
no. Yeah, we can go to the Ravens Giants. What another botched fucking 10-point lead.
Yeah,
by Baltimore. I like it's just shocking at this point.
this was one of my games that fucked me. 'Cause yeah,
Took the Giants to the spread in a lot of bets, and it hit because of this.
I took the Ravens money line, which I should not have
Mm.
done. I don't know. It gave me a little better odds. I figured I could win a little bit more money. I didn't really think that the Giants would be able to completely stuff the Ravens.
See, I thought it was gonna be close, but I didn't think the Giants would actually be able to pull away and win
Same,
this game.
same.
Um, Saquon Barkley is having had another nice game.
Yes, love
83
Saquon.
yards and a touchdown. This team just knows how to will themselves into games.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones is avoiding making mistakes. At least he's not turning the ball over.
Yes.
So that's probably the biggest reason they're not losing football games right now.
And Kayvon
They're
Thibodeau had
playing.
the game-ending play as well. That was
Ivan
huge.
Thibodeau has been doing great since they
Yes.
gotten him back.
Yes.
And so everyone saw the crying video.
It was
But man,
wholesome.
that strip sack by him, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
He might be the dark horse. He is Sauce's only competition for defensive rookie of the year right now.
I agree. I agree with that. And
I
it's
think it's
very
still
well
Sauce.
deserved.
I think it's still Sauce pretty far and ahead.
Yeah. For right
Man, it
now,
would have been
but
a lot closer if Kayvon Thibodeau didn't miss the first couple weeks because that dirty block.
yeah, I know the chop block behind his knees and
Yeah, but Giants, their defense played well, and their offense was able to pull out another clutch win, man. This Giants team
5-1.
is for real. They're a dark horse playoff team, man.
Oh,
I think they're
they're
gonna
not
get
even dark horse.
multiple.
They are. I don't think they're not better than the Eagles. They are the wild card team, but they might be wild card one, honestly.
The NFC East has three teams that will probably make the playoffs.
Yes, I think the Cowboys got exposed a little bit. I'm not sure how the transition back from
Play,
Cooper Rush into
plays the
Dak is
best
gonna
team in the
go.
NFL.
Yeah.
Plays the best team in the NFL. I'm not too worried about that. Um, Another team that's playing very well in the NFC. You want to go to Vikings Dolphins,
Absolutely, I do.
even
Because
though the Vikings almost gave up a lead to Skylar Thompson until he got knocked out, and then Teddy B came in and almost finished them off.
Big Dick Teddy, yeah, that was
Oh God,
he was
why?
very
That was
impressive.
no.
What? Have you?
No.
I'll show you the meme when we're done.
God.
Justin Jefferson had a nice game, even though he didn't have a touchdown. 6 receptions, 107 yards. Kirk Cousins threw for 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. He only threw 30 passes, completed 20 of them. Not great, but enough to get the job done. Dolphins defense, specifically their secondary, is pretty damn good. Irv Smith, touchdown, nice.
Yeah, and their defensive line was definitely getting after it. Man, the fact that Teddy B and Mike Gesicki
Hmm.
connected for two
Two
TDs and
touchdowns.
they were almost back in it.
Yeah,
They were because they also converted the 2-point conversions.
yeah,
They were right fucking back in it.
yeah.
They
And
just needed
Gasecki hasn't been that.
one.
He hasn't been so productive this year, so I was surprised to see. I'm happy to see it because I like Gasecki. I think he's a good guy. Seems like a good guy.
I think he's a great player.
Yeah,
Reminds me a lot of basketball playing tight ends.
yeah.
Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle both still had over 100 yards.
Numbers. Yeah, Tyreek almost had 200. Yeah.
Yeah. Like that just tells you one, how good both these wide receivers are,
Hmm.
and two, how good the coaching is
Yeah, for
on the
real.
Dolphins. Mike McDaniel is a great head coach. Kevin O'Connell, also a great head coach. Both these were fantastic hires for the
Hmm.
franchises. And you can definitely see Kevin O'Connell does not trust Kirk Cousins.
Yes. Yeah. Um,
And the Vikings, I think, are a prime candidate trade up in the draft.
I agree with you. They're probably they might not do it next year, but they're going to be looking to integrate a replacement for Kirk. Maybe they'll just start him on all. Maybe they'll start whatever rookie quarterback they get on any games that aren't at 1
Maybe.
p.m. But yeah, the Vikings managed to pull it out. I think the Vikings have a really solid roster overall. Um, I don't know. I think they're very deserving of being 5-1, and I think that when the Dolphins get Tua back, I believe he's scheduled for next week's return. I'm not sure about that, but from what I saw, it said next week he could be returning. Um, I think they'll be kind of back in the contention. I think they still have potential to be a wild card team, but they have to pick it up.
I Man, the Vikings, just the way they play,
Hmm.
their defense had a fantastic game,
Yes.
but man, the way that Kirk Cousins plays makes me feel like the door isn't closed
Yeah.
for us to come back and win our division at 3-3.
It's very possible.
I think there's still hope there, but we'll see who figures it out first, Aaron Rodgers or Kirk Cousins. I don't know. Speaking of figuring it out, has Joe Burrow figured it out?
I'm not
Kind of
sure.
righted the ship.
Uh, is it
They
the
were kind of riding him out a couple weeks ago.
throw to Jamar Chase is the answer? Who could have thought?
You know, a lot of people a little surprised that Higgins didn't perform better than he did in this game.
Yeah, I sure was.
Oh, he was on the injury report most of the game. People were shocked that he only had 47 yards. Well, here's the thing: he still had 10 targets. He has many targets as fucking Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
Hey, he played hurt. He was playing hurt. Hurt most of
Yeah,
the week.
he's been hurt for 2 weeks now, I think. Um,
And it's okay that maybe the defense focused more on T. Higgins in this game. He's had a better season than Jamar has up to this
yeah, he
point.
absolutely has. Yeah,
Then Jamar went off in this game for 132 and two TDs.
it
It was,
almost looked like the Saints were gonna pull it out.
dude, he's Jamar's clutch. I've never seen a wide receiver who's as clutch of a performer as he is.
Yeah, I was impressed. I put aside my feelings from last year's playoffs, and I'm willing to acknowledge
He's great.
it's one of the best. I don't think it's the best, but it's one of the best quarterback wide receiver connections in the league. Obviously, the
Oh, yeah.
connection in college really helped, but just overall, the talent of the receiver makes the quarterback better in this situation.
Joey B had 4 touchdowns. By the way, I'm just gonna also put that out
He
there.
had 3 passing, 1 rushing, I think, right? Yeah, he had a 15-yard rush for a touchdown, if I'm not mistaken.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Man, but Saints are
in
still
shambles.
struggling a little bit.
Yeah. And the fucked up part is the Eagles get their first round pick. So it's like you're gonna have
It's
like a
great.
top 5 pick. Yeah.
Right now, the Eagles would have like the 7th overall pick
Yeah.
if the season ended today.
Yeah. That's just
But I think the Saints, I don't think they're going to be able to right the ship
probably not.
when Jameis comes back. If
Yeah.
he does, if he should.
I I think Jameis can still give you good upside, but he's
Okay, that his current injury, man,
yeah.
that's spooky stuff.
Yeah.
You're still dealing with the spine. It's different.
Yeah, tell that to Tua, right?
Uh,
At
Anywho.
former Dolphins medical staff. Anyway,
Speaking of
anyway.
people that should have stayed done playing, Buccaneers Steelers. How the fuck did the Bucks shit the bed offensively in this game? I can tell you how.
Yeah.
The interior of their offensive line
Hmm.
has been getting ramsacked all year.
Yes.
They came up against Cam Hayward, one of the best
Yes.
defensive tackles in the NFL, and they kept getting interior pressure, which is what Tom Brady is most frustrated by his entire career.
Yes. And
How the Giants
especially
rocked him in Super Bowls.
yes,
Justin
especially
Tuck was
lately,
moved
dude.
into guard and was able to take him apart. In that first Super Bowl, the Giants beat the Patriots.
Hmm.
Justin Tuck was moved inside to
Hmm.
where he'd be head up on the guard.
Hmm.
get more pressure on Tom Brady, and it was absolutely genius because it worked.
Yeah, the Giants' defensive scheme. I mean, their offense managed to produce somehow. But the
Their defense,
defense,
they're very good at creating. Their franchise historically has been good at creating pressure,
yes,
and pressure is not a quarterback's friend.
no,
Especially Tom Brady, who likes to take his time to be methodical and read your defense, so he
yes,
knows the correct answer and the correct throw to get to. Tom Brady only had one touchdown. His yards per attempt was only 6.1. He not the offense just didn't wasn't moving the ball and rushing the ball like they were only averaging like 3 yards a carry rushing the ball.
yeah. Poor Kenny
Like,
Pickett too.
yeah, Kenny Pickett got knocked out early. Okay, so
Literally, yeah.
oh, how the fuck does Mike Evans only get 4 targets when you're playing against a secondary where both their corners suck without Minka Fitzpatrick? Is giving up some of the most yardage over the middle in the NFL so far this year. What happened to putting Mike Evans in the slot and having him run that post route out of it?
You know, I
I'm
honestly can't tell
questioning
you.
also the offense there because
Yeah,
that's a coaching issue. Why was Mike Evans not targeted in the second half? Why did Chris Godwin have 12 targets compared to Mike Evans only having 4 when he is the most talented pass catcher on that team?
I genuinely, honestly can't answer. This was the
It's
game
it,
that I was just laughing
it's
the whole
Gabriel had a
time.
nice game.
This was just a shit show. I was just laughing, watching. I was like,
Oh,
field
you
goal,
love
field
this
goal,
because I
field
know,
goal.
yeah, I know you're not a Tom Brady guy.
I, you know, it's not that. It's
He's being Mahomes when it matters, and I know that gets to you.
well, honestly, more so for me lately, it's just been he's
You want
been
him to be retired.
well, when he unretired, yeah, but it's been the calls. Like there's so many things that they have in place to like protect him. Like he can get in other guys' faces and then the refs will like go in to stop the guy from retaliating to him specifically. It's like, come on, man. And like the roughing the pass, like you can't touch Tom Brady like you can other quarterbacks. He was getting touched this game. He was getting pushed off his center. Um,
I wouldn't completely say that because there's been a bunch of fraudulent roughing the passer calls this year.
Oh no, I agree with that. But if you look like, especially more in the past few years, I don't know. Tom Brady's always been not always because obviously the rules have changed. There was that one old clip. Were they playing the Colts or somebody? Maybe it was the Jack. I don't remember. They're playing somebody and Tom Brady got fucking smoked while he was rushing the ball. His helmet flew off and everything.
The Bills. It was against the
Yes,
Bills.
yes, yes, yes. And I understand times changed a lot, but like the
The rules are
way,
completely different.
yes. But now Tom Brady is like, I don't know. It's just the way that he blames everyone else for failure or not meeting his standards. It's like, I don't know, man.
He takes it on him too. I don't think he doesn't take any of the blame on himself.
It's not that he doesn't take any. It's just the constant yelling and berating of his teammates that I don't like very much.
I mean, if you were getting smacked like he was from the interior of the offensive line all game,
Yeah,
I think you would probably snap too, especially when you're 45.
yeah, real.
I think it's just time for. I
Time
think
to
this is
go.
both Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers last season.
Yeah, I agree.
Um, Mitchell Trubisky, good for him for coming back and winning this game,
Yes, true.
and I'm sure he's going to be the starter this week.
You know,
Pickett's not going to be good to play Sunday.
maybe.
And also, why I would understand having Trubisky play
Yeah,
just because like Trubisky also played well when he came back off the bench and he
true.
was your
That's
original
true for
starter
sure.
right away.
Yeah, I agree with that. Especially playing against the Bucks defense. Yeah, I if you can play well against the Bucks defense, that's a pretty good indicator that you might be able to produce. So,
Um, Panthers Rams. The Panthers got out to an early lead,
yeah,
a 10-24. Well, 10-0, and then they lost 10-24 to the Rams because they couldn't score again.
yeah. The
I
Panthers
mean,
are in.
they're on their third and fourth string quarterback in this game, man.
Yeah. The Panthers are just in a really bad spot. They're spending money in areas they don't need to. Um,
Also, the Rams are lucky they played
the
against the
Panthers,
Panthers, by
yeah,
the way,
they needed
because
that.
their offense did not play well.
Yeah,
Um, like Matthew Stafford threw his like what 27th intercept like pick six of his career.
is somewhere between 26th and 29th. Yeah,
Yeah, and he's now second all time with Dan Marino for most pick sixes ever thrown.
yeah. Allen Robinson got a touchdown. Allen Robinson got some involvement, some work. Um,
Yeah,
but Stafford was 26 of 33 for 253, one touchdown, one interception. That's not something.
it's just
And the interception was a pick six, so it's not great.
yeah, and I'm gonna say this: if you don't have a defense, you don't. The Rams don't have the defense they had last year. They
Yes.
just don't.
No.
Matthew Stafford continues to play like how he is.
Hmm.
They're not gonna make the playoffs.
Yeah.
They're not a playoff team then. They're not a playoff team now.
No, they're definitely not. It pains me. The Rams are in a really bad spot, but this was my bad game of the week. It was good the Rams got a win going into the bye. Maybe they can hopefully address some of the problems that they have. But the Panthers, the Robbie Anderson argument, getting heated on the sideline, getting kicked out of the game, and then getting traded, that happened very fast.
Yes.
Um,
And now he's a Cardinal.
yeah, I think that's fine. The Panthers not the Panthers are paying his salary, which is bad. Considering the Cardinals are giving up a sixth and a seventh, that's nothing. But Robbie
I
has
wouldn't say that.
Robbie's
Not when not when you have a quarterback that's on a second contract. Draft picks become a little bit more valuable then because if you can hit at all
yeah.
and they can even just be a starter for you,
Mm,
or even just a rotation player, that's great. Because now the salary cap is no longer your friend.
fair.
After that point, when the quarterback starts taking up about 5% more of the salary cap than he was prior, like you becomes a little bit different then. I think the move screams of desperation by Cliff Kingsbury and Steve Keim.
The
I think
Cardinals are also not in a good spot. Yeah.
they're not. Also, especially since the news broke that Hollywood Brown is probably going to
Probably
be out
done
for
for
the
the
year.
year. Yeah. We can go to Cardinals Seahawks next. I
Yeah,
picked
let's
the
go.
Seahawks to win this game.
Yeah, and I took the Cardinals, and I'm a fool because I am so pissed for Kyler Murray. He plays so well. He's such a good quarterback. God damn, this offense is fucking terrible.
This team is like put in a wheelchair and has sandbags tied to it by the coaching.
Dude, really fucking is. And also, another reason why it kind of pisses me off that trade for Robbie Anderson, their starting guard, Justin Pugh, done for the year
Yeah.
after this game.
So
Yeah,
the thing that I can justify it with is Robbie Anderson. I'm not saying he's been the most consistent. We don't know what he's been like this year because this year he hasn't had
fast,
a quarterback. But to have him
fast,
as
he's
a
a good
wide
defensive.
receiver too, exactly with DeAndre Hopkins and
See,
with your tight end, I think it's personally I think it's fine.
I, I'm, I wouldn't have given up the draft capital honestly for it. I'm, maybe that's just me. I'm not gonna give up draft capital for a player that just got in a screaming match with a coach on the sideline.
Yeah, I
I would
mean,
have just honestly just waited. Because
yeah,
here's the thing: if you just wait, there's no way they're gonna keep him.
yeah, he's gonna
And
get
how many
released
teams are gonna
anyway.
honestly offer something for him? You could just wait for him to clear waivers.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's a good point. But the Cardinals are kind of looking at it like this is a pivotal point in their season. I think that's
Right?
why, especially with Cliff Kingsbury, he's looking at it like this is my chance to do something now. I have to make a difference
We're
now. We have to
we're
win.
2-4, and we just lost to the Seahawks, who are 3-3.
Yes.
The San Francisco 49ers 3-3, the LA Rams 3-3,
Yep.
You're literally just a game behind.
Yep.
Like the whole fucking division is dog shit right
Yeah.
now, which is really funny that we thought both of the West divisions were gonna be good this year,
Yeah.
and honestly,
They're so bad.
neither are great.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Chiefs are the only consistent team, and what that's a perfect segue into our next game.
Oh, well, I wanted to
Well, let's
just
actually
for this
finish
game.
talking about this
G-
one.
Gino
G
didn't throw for 200 yards, but he had no touchdowns, no interceptions. That was kind of disappointing. Kenneth Walker had a really good game.
Jeff Walker had a great game, and I he had a nice little move on the goal line on Buda Baker. It's kind of like
Yes.
a they get a little bit of separation, almost like
Mhm.
a fake stiff arm. It was
Yeah.
kind of dope.
I,
Like just got right in.
I was kind of heartbroken because I thought that DK and Tyler would have really okay weeks. I figured because the Seahawks have been so productive on offense, but they were silent the majority of the game. Um, the other thing I'd like to point out is Tariq Woolen is like the first corner since Sherm to have what was it, four
Well,
interceptions through
yeah.
5 games or something like that, and now he went 5 of 5 or something like that. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's awesome. Like I was saying last week, I remember saying this last week in our show. There are some flashes on this Seahawks team at every real position. It's just not consistent and not solidified enough to win them games, and they started pulling it together to tie for their
Mhm.
division right now. It's I mean it's a 500 record. It's not great, but considering
Well,
this is
it's,
a team everybody thought was tanking.
yeah, we all thought, and here's the thing: how bad the Broncos are doing. They
Hmm.
don't need the tank.
Yep.
They don't need to do it because I think Seattle's in the best spot to go
Yes.
draft a quarterback this year.
Yes.
They are going to have two pick, depending on how the rest of the year goes as well.
Hmm.
They could have two picks that are pretty high
Yeah.
that they can package.
Absolutely.
So it's going to be interesting with who they end up taking if they even take a quarterback.
Hmm.
It's also Pete Carroll.
Yeah.
He is such a wild card. I could see him just picking two skill position guys
Yeah.
and then them just going from there and just picking a quarterback later in the draft, or even just rocking in Gino for another season.
You know what? As long as we get another video of him shirtless, I'm fine. Anything goes.
Anything goes. Anything goes for sure. For a shirtless 60-year-old man.
Absolutely.
Uh, Kyler had 100 yards rushing, which was kind of dope,
Yes.
but
That was really all he had though.
no touchdowns,
Yeah.
threw a pick. But that's
Yeah.
all you can really talk about is that a quarterback was the leading rusher for this game.
Yeah.
I,
Disappointing.
yeah, that's Cliff's offense is just so disappointing. There's a lack of utilization of motion, which I also bitched about with Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
There's
And
also
with
a lack of
Jamar,
utilization.
that was the other issue. They don't move Jamar around enough, and they just use him very static. That was the complaint before. And
That was
we
my
saw him move
complaint from
around
the
a little bit.
Bengals.
Yeah, yes, and we saw him move around a little bit. So
Yeah. So, but my current complaint for the Cardinals is just lack of motion, and they
mhm.
don't use RPOs enough in their offense. And when they're really good at it, when they do
Yes,
run RPOs, they're like top five percentile of success rate.
yeah,
When they're not, they're just running at like a 27th out of the whole NFL when it comes to like percentage of running RPOs. Like it
yeah.
doesn't make sense. Just
Cardinals,
big issue.
Cardinals
Lack of
offense,
self scouting.
yeah. The Cardinals running backs are,
Bad.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
it's why do you think Kyler had 100 yards rushing?
yeah.
It's Kyler and Benjamin.
It's just constant scrambling. You have to feel bad for him.
Constant scrambling. You want to talk about Josh Allen?
Oh yeah, we can do that. That's fine.
Dude, that run he had on you guys where he hurdled a defender.
Yes, that was incredibly. So again, I am going to be as objective as I can about this game.
This
Uh,
was a great game.
so Elam had some really good plays and some really mediocre plays. The Bills secondary was getting a little handsy. Some of the penalties were costing them a little bit. Um,
Mhm.
The real difference in
Juju
this game,
Smith-Schuster had a great game.
Juju had a great game. The difference in this game for me was the Bills defense, and that's really all that there is to say. Um, Pat, okay, so
Von
Josh
Miller.
Vaughn was getting after Pat. Even if he wasn't getting to Pat, he was generating
Was
that pressure.
crushing.
Absolutely.
And two
Um,
sacks in the game.
this is the game that I maybe ironically enough was most excited to talk about. I thought the Bills were going to win, but as I am a diehard Chiefs fan, I cannot root again. I can't bet against my team.
No.
Um,
I put a bet down for the Chiefs. The Chiefs were the heartbreaking part of a parlay
yeah,
just because, man, I just needed them just to hold on to win
yeah.
that game, and I would have won some money. Last part of a parlay, but damn.
One of the casters predicted this game the night before. Um, I don't. Maybe it was Sherm said that this was going to be a 24-20 type game. I don't remember, but somebody got this exactly right. Um, I said before this game started, this is going to be a one interception type game. It's not over till it's over. Josh Allen was. I mean, his completion percentage wasn't the greatest. It wasn't terrible. But the big thing is he didn't have any interceptions. He did have a fumble, I believe. It was ruled
Yes.
as a Josh Allen fumble. But that was the only time he turned the ball over. Stephon Diggs had a great game. Gabe Davis torched us because
That's good.
yeah, we we
Okay.
we couldn't stop him.
Well, I mean, he just mossed it. I mean, he just got by at a corner. That's it's your guys' outside corners right now are not great.
Yeah.
And you guys gave up two
Well,
touchdowns just
we're on
straight go
our
routes.
third string corner
No,
in
you
the
guys have
game, and now we're on our fourth string, I think. Yeah. Um, none of our running backs were very impressive. Juju, like you said, had a fantastic game. 5 receptions for 113 yards. Uh,
could have 42-yard TD.
yeah. Kelsey had a great game. Mecole got a touchdown. I don't think it was a great game, but it wasn't a bad game. Um, yeah, it's
They really just need a third guy just to step up in the passing game.
I. You know what? The Chiefs. This as of today, the Chiefs restructured Kelsey's contract to free up over $3.5 million. So
I'm also going to say they also need an offensive tackle.
you are absolutely correct, and I completely
Right
agree with
tackle
you.
is a fucking mess. And
But
left tackle. Both
but
tackles honestly suck.
what are the odds that they go and sign Odell anyway?
What are the odds of them trading for Larry Tunsil?
I would love that. That would that would make me very happy.
Okay, hear me out. See if you can get Houston to trade you Orlando Brown for Larry Tunsil straight up. They won't take
I
it because
mean,
Larry Tunsil's a better player.
you never know with Houston. You never know.
I mean, give Larry Tunsil in like a second, probably. Man, you don't want to give up the draft capital because just the same thing I'll say with the Cardinals. Because of Pat's contract, you don't really want
Yeah,
to do that too
real.
often.
Yeah. Um,
And Orlando Brown's got to be out this season, right? You guys aren't
probably.
tagging him again.
I can't
I'm
imagine.
not paying him.
Yeah, it's. I think the tag this year would be, I don't know, worth more
Was
than.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's not
Um,
worth. Well, he's
Pat
not very.
and Josh Allen actually had pretty similar completion stats. Pat just had 2 interceptions, and Josh had the one fumble. Otherwise, it would have been pretty fucking identical. Um, yeah,
That's
the
because
interception
the turnover is what did it.
the interception in the end zone when we could have taken a field goal was bad. And then at the end of the game, if we had taken that field goal previously, it would have been a 24-23 game. And I feel like if they weren't rushing to get a touchdown, they're just looking to get in field goal range. I feel like it would have been a much more reasonable ask from Butker, who hit a 62-yarder not too long ago in the
Yeah.
game. So I mean, it's one of those things that it's like it was a good, entertaining game. This was like
Well,
a boil over from last year. I feel like this is going to be the new Manning Brady of the NFL. Um,
when I watch Patrick Mahomes play,
yeah,
he's just generation's Brett Favre.
he's
I
not as
think
mistake prone.
He's not as mistake
Favre was
prone, but
definitely
he's
worse.
still pretty mistake prone.
Ah, no,
You have to say it, man. Like he throws wild passes
yeah,
that aren't
I
always the
wouldn't
best decision.
I wouldn't give it even remotely same conversation as Favre, but yeah, definitely. I'll agree with you to an extent, but not even in the same. Favre was
It's risky, but
Jameis was like Favre risky, but I don't know. I do the stat line from this game. I would like to point out the Bills had 26 first down to the Chiefs 23. Third down efficiency, both teams were 4 of 11. Fourth down efficiency, the Bills were 1 of 3. The Chiefs were 1 of 1. Bills had 72 total plays. Chiefs had 61. The Chiefs allowed 2 more sacks. They had an extra punt. We had fewer penalties, but they were for more yards. Um, and we threw 2 interceptions. So it's a really close game. Again, in the playoffs, especially getting McDuffie back, it really could go either way. Um,
yeah.
but this is
Could
like
be,
the new
hey,
premier matchup. What's up?
you guys lost to him during the regular season last year and then beat him in the playoffs.
Yes,
So
we absolutely did.
okay. So on to the Sunday night football game, Eagles Cowboys.
This was a fun
Eagles
game.
covered the spread and they beat the Cowboys.
Yes. So the Eagles started off really strong, and the Cowboys came back a little bit. I was very
Who rushed
surprised.
through 3 picks.
Yeah. So this
That
anybody who
just
thought the
silenced
Cowboys were
all
gonna
the
win.
Cooper Rush taking Dak's job talk. That just put it all to bed.
Yeah, and everybody started talking about why didn't Dak start because right before the game he said, uh, it feel the gripping. What do you say? The gripping feels fine or something. I'm just working on the throwing strength or something along those lines. Or did he say the strength is back? I'm just trying to get the grip. One of the two ways, but either way, Dak would have performed better in this game.
Wasn't I don't okay, here's the thing. It would have been a bad I don't like rushing players back from injury.
Same.
So if the guy is not completely ready to come back, don't do it.
Yeah.
It's that easy.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying if Dak was healthy, he would have been better off in this game. The Cowboys still would not have won this game, but
I mean, the Eagles secondary is so good.
yes, absolutely. I think
Darius Slay,
Darius Slay
James
is the
Hubbard.
best corner in the NFL right now.
Ooh,
I really think he is.
that's a hot take. Not willing to say that, but I love the fit of Chauncey Gardner Johnson in this Eagles secondary. A
CJGJ.
trade, yeah. See, Chauncey's is the C part of it.
Yeah. CJGJ.
Um,
Wait, whatever. It's close enough. Whatever his name.
the 2 picks were awesome. The way that he can play both slot and he plays the deep half of the field is awesome. He's perfect for the Eagles defense that runs a lot of quarters coverage.
Wait, I was right. His initials for his first name for some reason it's
CJ.
still CJ. So it is CJGJ. Oh, okay.
I just thought
I
it was
thought you were
funny. I
okay.
just laughed because I thought it was funny.
Oh, okay. My bad, my bad. I was confused. I was like, what the
You're good.
um
um,
Miles Sanders had a touchdown for the Eagles. That's
Miles
always
Sanders
nice to
had a
see.
touchdown.
AJ Brown
It's
had a
like
nice game.
yeah, it's really cool to see AJ Brown, Devontae Smith both have a decent amount of a target share.
For real.
The Eagles passing game really is just 3 dudes.
Yes.
It's really just AJ Brown, Devontae Smith,
Dallas
and
Goddard.
Dallas Goddard, tight end.
Yeah.
It's no one else.
Well, Quez Watkins gets in there sometimes, but
He's legit just a deep threat.
yes.
Good deep threat, but that's one trick pony.
Yes. The Cowboys,
Parsons didn't have a sack. Did
yeah.
not have a sack.
Yeah.
Well, Philly's offensive line is fantastic. It's the best offensive line in the NFL.
I believe yeah, they got to Hurts a few times, but Philly's offensive line, like you're saying, is probably the best in the NFL. I agree.
Got to Hurts like I want to say one,
3 times, I
two,
think.
3 or 4.
Yeah. I don't really have a lot to say about this one. I think the Eagles were just the better team. I think this is where the Cooper Rush truthers will come in because you need to
Oh,
understand he has played great when you've asked him to score around 17 points. But contending with a genuine best in the league team, he is not going to be able to keep up.
Yeah.
Zeke had a good game too. Zeke had a really productive game, but uh, I wouldn't count on it going back to this. We'll talk about that when we get to this week's schedule, but
Yeah.
this is just the
So
Eagles
let's do
playing
our
really
final
well.
game. Monday night, Denver
Monday
Broncos,
night shitball, yeah.
LA Chargers. A lot of people who were gambling were pissed at DraftKings. They did a boost for Justin Herbert one plus money for like with Justin Herbert from one TD.
Yeah.
He did not throw a touchdown. A lot of people were pissed. Oh, here's the thing. This wasn't. It was bait
Yeah.
on y'all. Like this is a Denver Broncos pass defense. This is very good. Chargers are still without Keenan Allen.
Yes, unfortunately.
And if you've watched any Broncos games recently,
Mhm.
and I'm sorry if you have,
Real.
your defense is not the issue.
No, not at all.
The Chargers are still missing their left tackle.
Mhm.
Slater is not coming back this year. So pass rush is going to start to get there, and you're not going to be able to complete pass on Patrick Surtain like
No.
at all. There was one pass that was completed on Patrick Surtain for 4 yards in this game.
So this, yeah, the Broncos actually started off. I've been very critical of the Broncos, and I will continue to do so. But the main thing for this game is that the Broncos actually, I think the Broncos started 10-0, if I'm not mistaken. They start. I know Russ threw for like, let me see. Yeah, it was 10-0 in the first quarter. Russ was 10 of 10 for his first 10 passes, and then after that, just absolute donkey shit. It just was awful. Um, Jerry Jeudy was the most productive receiver on the Broncos, but that's not saying a lot because he had 54 yards and 3 receptions. Um, the Chargers honestly just managed to get it done with their kicker who has a broken fucking leg. Not really, but he's going to be out. I believe they said he's going to be out for at least a month. Um, yeah, this game was not. It was moderately entertaining, but I can't say that it was fun to watch. Um, watching the Broncos play offense the majority of the time is,
Painful.
yeah, it just after that first quarter, because I texted you, I was like, dude, the Broncos look like they know how to play offense, and then immediately
And I
after
was
that, I
like,
think I
nah, I'm
jinxed them.
still
Yeah,
not.
yeah, and it was just like it was like watching someone take 60 laxatives and then go lay down in bed. You're just waiting for them to shit it. Like it's gonna happen eventually. And the Chargers, yeah, Justin Herbert had an unfortunate performance. One interception, no touchdowns. Eckler had that nice touchdown. Um, this was truly the Broncos are mid at best. Again, Russ needs a run game to be able to perform. He does not have an established run game right now. Uh, Latavius Murray actually did look pretty good though. I'm not gonna lie, but Russ can't do anything without a run game. The Chargers still have pretty decent corners. Um, they have a great safety, so they did a pretty good job of shutting out the pass game from the Broncos, and the Broncos can't run. So it was honestly just which, even though the Chargers are more injured, it was which team was less mid, and it was the Chargers.
Which team was less mid?
Yeah,
Bill Mack had a nice game.
he did.
Which
Russ
team
is
was?
still too prone to holding onto the ball and making mistakes when he doesn't have those quick outs. I completely agree.
Mm-hmm.
Ready to go on to
And
weeks. Oh, my bad. What's up?
let's go on to next week. Um, week 7. It starts with Thursday night in the desert. Saints at the Cardinals. Who are you taking, Brett?
Yeah, I have to take the Cardinals. D Hop is
Taking
back
yours,
this
yeah.
week. Um, I love D Hop. I think this will kind of be a bounce back week. The Cardinals have been suffering a little bit. Obviously, the coaching situation won't change. I know the new Call of Duty's coming out. Ha ha ha! Kyler jokes, but I think they'll be fine. D Hop coming back and Robbie Anderson's really solid. I really like in my head how Robbie's gonna fit in for this Cardinals team. I think it's gonna be a really good fit.
I Like I said, I think the move screams the desperation.
It does,
I
but
think I'm worried about Kyler getting pressured.
mhm,
I think for this game, it's gonna be great, especially since there's no Hollywood Brown. You're still I think Robbie Anderson is gonna help fill some of the deep threat parts of
yes.
the offense. I want to see Rondale Moore's role in this offense grow
Mhm.
more than just a guy who just gets screen passes at the line.
Yes.
He is an explosive athlete. I want to see if he can actually run a route. And maybe D Hop, his chemistry with Kyler is really good. I really want to see them back together. And it's gonna be a real good test to see how good D Hop, how rusty D Hop is
Mhm.
against Marshawn Lattimore
Yeah, for real.
on a
Because
Thursday
Marshawn
night.
is
And
so physical. Yeah.
very physical. It's a short week though, so
Yeah. And Diop's had 6 weeks of rest.
pretty much.
So
And pretty much, a lot of Saints players are questionable. Andy Dalton is questionable. Michael Thomas questionable. Jarvis Landry questionable. Jameis questionable.
yeah. I don't know enough of the lineup to be able to give.
Hollywood Brown's already out. They're already saying he's out.
Ugh, that sucks.
No, Benjamin is questionable. Dardick, who's an edge player for them, is questionable.
Mhm.
Connor's questionable. I don't know why they're saying he's questionable. He's done for the year. He's done. So
Interesting.
it's gonna be an interesting
Might just
matchup.
not be updated.
I do think the Cardinals end up taking it at home.
Same.
Move to 3-4.
Yeah, I
Okay.
agree. Browns
Browns
Ravens.
Ravens at Baltimore.
I have a feeling I know what you're gonna pick, but I'm just gonna say it first. I think the Ravens really right the ship here. Um,
I
I
have to
love
eventually.
yeah I love the Ravens. I think this is kind of I love Lamar. I can't honestly tell you what exactly the problem has been. They're just the Ravens have been a team that have let off the gas way too early. And I've said this for countless weeks. When the Chiefs know they don't have a good defense or a defense that's able to stop and don't have a run game that's good enough to completely waste the clock, you score until you're confident they can't catch up. And the
Um,
Ravens get to about that 20-point threshold, and they're just like, I don't want to play offense anymore. And then
I
lose.
I think the Ravens are going to take this game just because the Cleveland Browns has shown the past couple weeks they can't stop the running game.
Yes.
And that is everything the Ravens do. I think they're just going to be able to run the ball down their throat and win this game by being more physical.
I think Mark Andrews is going to have a pretty solid game too, but I think this is really where you're going to see a lot of Lamar pressuring and forcing runs. Yes, I agree.
Next game, Buccaneers Panthers. I think this is a get right game for the Bucks. I think
Yeah.
they're gonna blow the doors off of the Panthers. I think the Panthers are probably the worst team in the NFL right
Yes.
now.
Yes. Yeah, I
Especially
agree.
since PJ Walker is probably gonna be the starter again this week.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is like a 14-point win for the Bucks. At least a
Yeah.
10, 12-point win, but yeah, I really I'm not seeing a repeat of Pittsburgh.
No, I don't. I don't either. I think the Bucks are gonna get right here, and I think Tom Brady has a nice game.
Same.
The offensive line, I think, is actually gonna play well.
Same.
Falcons Bengals. This is fun.
Yeah, I have been known to take upsets, and I am going to do that here.
Taking
Give me
upset.
the Falcons.
Okay. I I'm more likely to bet the Falcons to cover in this game. They're the Falcons are dogs by 6.5 points.
Yeah.
I think they cover. Give me Cincinnati to win this game.
Yeah, I don't think they win, but
At home,
honestly, I'm hoping for it. I want an upset. I want this to be a fun game.
it's at home. I think Cincinnati is going to start to pull away. I
Oh, it's
think they're
at
going to end up
Cincy?
winning. That's
Oh,
Cincinnati.
I thought
It's at Cincinnati. It's in Ohio.
Okay, then yeah, I'll agree with you. Falcons cover, but Bengals win.
Oh,
I
all
thought I
right.
thought it was in Atlanta. Okay.
It's not Atlanta. It's in
Okay. Okay.
Cincinnati. Okay, so we both take the Bengals there.
Yes.
Lions Cowboys at Dallas.
Yeah, this one kind of it should be a no-brainer. Um
Dak's first game back.
yeah, so the
Like it not.
The
DeAndre Swift
Lions,
is still questionable.
exactly. The Lions are too injured. Uh, I know Amon-Ra St. Brown's back. The Cowboys' defense has been really good. I think the Cowboys will win this by 7. Um, the Lions
Do you
have
think the
had
Cowboys are going to win the spread? That's the spread is 7 points.
7 points. Yeah, I think they could cover. But I wouldn't. I don't know if I'd bet the over, but seven's like my threshold. It hinges on whether or not Swift plays. But I don't think the Lions get a lot of points this game. I think the Patriots were kind of like a shell shock for them, and
Mm-hmm.
then they had the bye, and now it's like you're going against top, maybe even top 3, but definitely top 5 defense in the league. It's like I don't think you're gonna have a good time.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be a bad game for the Lions.
Yeah.
I would take Dallas here as well. Um,
Would you
they
take the
have a
spread?
shot if DeAndre Swift plays.
Yes, I agree. Same. Because their
But
offensive line is pretty decent
their
still.
offensive line is fantastic. I
Yeah.
don't think Dallas will be able to get pressure on them as easily,
No.
but I want to see how the Lions are going to move the ball on their defense still.
And Trayvon Diggs has been covering pretty well as well. That's the other
Trayvon
thing.
Diggs has been playing pretty well this season.
Yeah. So yeah, it just depends on how it depends on if Swift plays and if Dak is back or not, but still give me the
Because
Cowboys either way.
the biggest problem with Detroit's defense is they're just okay in coverage and they have no pass rush.
Yes, definitely. Well, they have Hutch, but that's it.
Hutch isn't even playing that well. Let's
Yeah.
be real. Most of his production came against Carson Wentz, who runs into his own sack.
Yeah. Yeah. Those
Like he's
were
not
those were
playing that
filmed.
well.
Yeah, I mean, the thing
And who
is,
else? Who else is on the defensive line?
he's doing film study. That's the other. The thing with Hutch is he hasn't been like overpowering guys or like running them over. He's been like the sacks and the production that he's gotten have largely been like, I know that if I pressure the quarterback here, this is where they'll step, or like this is the their pocket will collapse here, and I can get the interior step. It's been a lot of like film study pressure, which I guess I you have to kind of praise him for instead of just having like raw physical dominance, because that's great, but like acknowledging that you don't have that in film studying to find those mistakes or
He,
find those steps is
he
what
really hasn't been that good, though. Let's be real.
I
He
mean.
really
The
has not. He's
Lions,
been
yeah,
disappointing. He's been disappointing at being what? Where was he drafted? Second overall.
yeah. Uh, yeah, I won't dispute that. That's fair and fine, but I mean, it. You also have to consider Lions defense.
The whole. I mean, their defense as a whole hasn't been great, but
Yeah,
he's not helping with it either. You're
no,
hoping if you take an edge player that high in the
they are
draft
going to
that
be a
they can
game
be an
changer.
impact player
Yes, I
right
agree.
then and there. Speaking of an edge player that was a rookie that's making an impact,
Yeah,
the guy that I think should have been taken first overall, the Giants, Kayvon
Kayvon
Thibodeau. He
Thibodeau.
did have a good game against the Ravens,
Yes, he did.
which we already highlighted earlier in the episode. I just wanted to bring it up again. So, who do you have?
I have the Giants.
Giants at Jaguars.
Yeah,
Giants?
I have the Giants. I think Daniel Jones has been doing a decent job. I guess maybe not decent, but adequate job at staying out of his own way and not fucking himself or the team up too badly. I know the Jaguars have a great defensive line, and I know that their defense has been underperforming a little bit. Um, but I think Saquon's going to be able to get some value. I think the Giants are going to be kind of they're going to be smarter with their offense than just trying for big plays, because Daniel Jones and big play equals big fuck up most of the time. I think the Giants will still manage to pull this one out. The Jaguars are kind of two-dimensional. Obviously, they have a fantastic run tandem, but they only really have one receiver that you can count on. So I think the Giants
Well,
will manage to pull it
I'm,
out.
I'm going to challenge that. Zay Jones has been fantastic for them, especially on third
That's
downs.
true. That's true.
Zay Jones has actually been a solid receiver for them, and I'm actually disagreeing with you on this one. I'm taking the home team here. I'm
Okay.
taking Jacksonville. A lot of the Giants' wins have been in closely contested
Yes, they have.
games that have come down to them winning the turnover battle. I
Yes.
don't think Daniel Jones is going to keep up this level of play of him not turning the ball over.
Hmm.
'Cause it's not his MO throughout his entire career.
No, it's definitely
And
it's definitely not.
get Brian Dable's a great head coach, but I think this is the game where we see the Jags start to turn it around a little bit. I think this is a get right game for them. I think the Giants get upset here.
Okay.
But no, believe it or not, the Giants are actually they are actually like dogs in this game by 3 points.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. I'll stick with the Giants pick.
All right. And I'm taking the Jags. Right. Let's go to
Packers,
really
Commanders.
Packers Commanders.
Yeah.
All right. I'm taking Packers. I
Yeah,
don't even
same. There's no question for me.
know Carson Wentz is out. It'll be Taylor Heineke.
Yeah,
I
the Packers defense has not been I
playing to
won't.
the expectations that not playing as well as we thought they were going to play.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not gonna crucify them because the offense hasn't really been productive at all. But yeah, I still give me the Packers. The Commanders are too mistake prone. They're on a second string quarterback. Um, I don't know. The Commanders are not good. Their defense is not cohesive. Their offense is not competent. They can put up good numbers with some players at some positions, but they're not a good football team. I don't really think there's much much to discuss on that one. Just not good.
No. Um. Go to the next game. We're both taking the Packers there.
Yes.
Colts Titans at Tennessee. You take them.
That's a tough one for
Also,
me. Um,
taking Indy.
yeah,
Same with
I
Pittsburgh.
think I'm going to as well. Uh, I don't know the status on Jonathan Taylor or his return. I don't know if he's expected back this week. But honestly, even if he's not,
Questionable.
I don't think that impacts my decision too much either way. It would affect the spread, but it wouldn't affect my decision. Titans
No.
are still very one-dimensional team. They're very, very well coached, but your quarterback is just not good.
Mm-hmm.
Tannehill doesn't should not be
And Hill just
playing.
doesn't get many opportunities either. They don't trust him. Obviously, you can
Yeah,
tell the teams that don't trust their quarterback by how many actual drop back opportunities they give them.
yeah. Uh, I mean, I think the Titans are just going to keep workhorsing Derrick Henry until he falls over. But Derrick Henry's looked mortal this season, and that's concerning. Um, Considering that's the entirety of the Titans' offense. Um, yeah, I think the Titans. It'll probably be a closer game. I'm gonna say it's somewhere between 3 and 7 points for the Colts. Um,
All right.
it's within a touchdown though.
Yeah. So we're both taking Indianapolis.
Yep.
Jets Broncos.
I'm taking the
I know you're taking the Jets.
MILF Hunters.
I'm, I'm also going to take the Jets. The Jets I think are also dogs in this game, which is really funny.
No way. Is
Yeah.
it's at
It's,
Denver?
it's at Denver. Yeah,
Okay.
it's at Denver. That's why.
I don't care, man.
I'm
Russ is gonna
still
have
taking the Jets in the
two
game.
picks in this game. Yeah, Russ is gonna throw 2 picks. I don't care. Uh,
She just torches them. This absolutely just torches them somehow.
I would cry. I would
Um,
bawl my eyes out and post a video.
we're both taking the Jets in that one. Texans Raiders at Vegas.
Hmm.
Taking the Raiders.
Really?
Yeah, the Raiders are a way more talented team. The Raiders have lost a lot of one possession games.
Is DeAndre or sorry, is Devontae suspended or no?
No,
Okay.
but if he
Uh
was, I still think the Raiders would win this game, even without Devontae Adams.
I'll take the Raiders. It's
Yeah,
going to be a closer. The Texans are really scrappy, but I don't I don't think they win this.
Devontae Adams, the Raiders are gonna blow the door off him.
Yeah.
It's
I
in Vegas. I
hmm.
I think
It's
Devontae Adams is gonna just pop off against them.
all right. I'm fine with it.
Speak-
I think the Raiders win too, but I think the Texans make it closer than you're gonna expect.
Speaking of closer, you're gonna expect Chargers, Seahawks.
Yeah, this is a tough one. I think Keenan Allen's coming back this week, but the Chargers roster is just so banged up. Eckler's been productive every week for the past 3, 4 weeks. I think the Chargers will probably still take it. Tariq Woolen's been playing fantastic, like I said earlier. I think it'll be a closer game than people expect,
I'm
but
pretty sure Seahawks are 6.5 point dogs. Down in
mm,
LA, but still.
I I don't know if I'd take them to cover, but
Seahawks to
yeah,
cover?
I don't
Ooh.
I might.
I'm taking the Chargers to win this game.
Yes,
I
yes, same.
just
That's
think
what I
they
was saying.
match up better.
Yeah. I just man, I might take the Seahawks to cover, but Chargers to win. Yes.
So we're both taking the Chargers in that game. On to
Before you even ask, Chiefs 49ers, Chiefs.
I am also taking the Chiefs in that game. I don't think the 49ers I don't trust Jimmy Garoppolo enough to actually be able to move the ball.
No, no way.
Also, what a weird game to also put in prime time. Pittsburgh, Miami. When
Yeah.
can we start flexing games?
Yeah,
This is a 1 o'clock game. This is because it's probably gonna be Teddy B versus fucking
Mitch
Mitchell
Trubisky,
Trubisky.
yeah.
Pittsburgh 7 point dogs as they should be. I
Dogs?
think
Yeah.
I think Miami's gonna tear them up. I think their receivers gonna have a great game. I think Miami in this one. Their defense also is very good at getting after the quarterback.
Yeah, give me Miami as well, but you said it was a 7 point spread?
Yeah.
Uh
I think Miami covers. It's also in Miami.
Yeah,
That helps.
so the other thing that's fun about Miami is on the Miami sideline last week, I guess it
That was
was
way cooler. It was like 20
90
degrees.
90 degrees on the Miami bench and it was 118 degrees on the Vikings bench. Like, dude, what the fuck? Yeah, give me the
Yep.
Dolphins. I I don't know if they cover or not. If Tua is back,
I think they even cover even with Teddy B.
I'm not gonna bet the spread on this one. I'm staying away from this game.
All
But
right.
sure, give them covering the spread. Sure, why not?
All right. Patriots Bears on Monday night.
Oh, this is a really tough one.
I'm taking New
Man.
England. Give me Patriots. I think Bill Belichick is such a good defensive coordinator and
Hmm.
defensive head coach that Justin Fields is gonna be seeing ghost.
Yeah,
He's
I
gonna look like Ian Darnold.
I I was definitely being sarcastic. Yeah, this for me this is not even a question. I don't. The Patriots could put.
Bears are 8 point dogs, and I want no part of betting the spread on this game.
Yeah, this dude. I don't know. I honestly I would take the Patriots to cover that, but the Bears. I don't think the Bears do anything against the Patriots, but yeah, definitely give me the Pats, and I take them to cover as well. I think Ramondre is going to have another great game.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting more integrated in the pass game. Uh, yeah, I think it's going to be a great game for
Mm-hmm.
the Patriots. If you have Patriots players that are
I'll
Ramondre,
just say
pretty much
just
just Ramondre.
Saquon Thornton. I think Thornton's gonna have a nice game too.
You think so? I was thinking about picking him up in a couple leagues, but I was like, Patriots passing, doesn't really happen.
Hey, he had 300 yards passing this past week.
Yeah, it's true. I was very impressed.
Well, anyway, that's our picks for week 7, guys. We did our week 6 wrap up. Thank you for spending. How much time are we looking at, Brett? About an hour?
Hour and 24 minutes.
Hour and 24 minutes. Thank you for spending an hour and a half with us. We
Appreciate you
appreciate
guys.
you. We love you. Give us a like and subscribe, and give our socials a follow.
And drop a comment if you agree or disagree. Let us know. Let us know if you want to punch me in the face, spit in my mouth, do anything. Let me know what you're thinking, what you're feeling. If your team
All
won,
right.
if your team lost. If you're a Raiders fan, please don't comment, but that's all
All right. All
right.
right.
I'm just
Peace
kidding.
out, y'all.
Peace out, guys.
This has been Pitch Pass Podcast. Bye.
Peace.